Wii Sports is a great game. From the gameplay, motion controls, all the sports you can play, to the amazing soundtrack it has, there's a lot to enjoy about Wii Sports. So let's start. During development, Wii Sports was originally part of a PAC project, which was prototype software made to test the capabilities of the Wii Remote for the Nintendo Revolution. Revolution was the development name for the Wii. The software was divided into two categories: family-oriented games that became Wii Play, and sports games, which became Wii Sports. Wii Music was also part of the PAC project, but didn't release until 2 years after the Wii came out. The Wii Sports disc still refers to Wii Sports as the codename Sports Pack for Revolution, and Wii Play refers to itself as Party Pack for Revolution. Wii Sports came with all Wiis on launch, but not in Japan. For Japan, you had to get the game separately, which was the only way to buy Wii Sports by itself until the Nintendo Selects one came out in 2011. I feel like the Wii Sports case in Japan looks the best since it's like the most unique one. Wii Sports has 5 sports to choose from: tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. There was also a training mode for each sport that has 3 options to choose from. There is also Wii Fitness, which has you play a couple of modes from the training mode. That's all the options to choose from, so what better place to start than the first sport on the list? Tennis has 3 options to choose from: best of 1, best of 3, and best of 5. Gameplay wise, the game is pretty simple. All you have to do is swing the Wii Remote to hit the ball. When serving, if you hit the tennis ball at its highest point, you will do a power serve, which sends the ball flying to the other side. For best of 3 and best of 5, your opponent serves after the first game, so you can't do a power serve. After winning a game, your skill level will increase. For each and every sport, your skill level will increase or decrease if you win or lose in the sport. The higher your skill level, the more difficult your opponents are. After getting to 2000 skill level, you face Elisa, the champion of tennis. One thing I have to mention is that for tennis, baseball, and boxing, there is a champion Mii you face, which is the hardest opponent you face in the sport. After you beat a champion Mii, you will receive a message in the Wii message board saying you are the champion of that sport. You will also get a message when you go pro in a sport. One secret is that you can play on the blue tennis court from the train mode if you hold down 2 before starting a game. Now for the train mode. The first one is returning balls, where you have to hit the ball back and forth without getting out of bounds or missing. If you do this 8 times, you get the platinum medal for the train mode. The second one is timing your swing. You have to hit the ball into an orange zone that moves left or right while getting smaller. You have to do this 50 times for the platinum medal. And finally, for target practice, you have to hit the target on the wall. Every hit, the target moves. The wall will start to break where the ball lands, leaving holes in the wall. For this mode, you have to use everything you used in the previous modes. You have to do this 40 times for the platinum medal. For some of the training modes, your opponent is the champion of that sport, but only for tennis and boxing. Overall, tennis is pretty fun. You can play with other people if you have another Wii Remote. You can play a game against yourself by saying you're me as every character if you want. On to the next sport, baseball. Baseball is pretty simple. All you need to do is swing the Wii Remote to hit the ball. If you miss, it's a strike. If you hit the ball too early or late, it's a foul ball. If the baseball gets caught by me, it's an out. If the Miis don't pick up the baseball in time, you either get a single, a double, or a triple. You need to move your Mii across 4 bases to get a point. Finally, if you hit the baseball into the audience, you will get a home run, which gives you a single point. You can also hit the ball out of the park for a point, but it's difficult to do. After you get 3 outs, it's your turn to pitch. If you have 5 more points than your opponent, then after pitching, you win by mercy rule. When pitching, the D-pad lets you choose which direction you throw in. Pressing 2 lets you do an underhand throw. 1 is just a normal throw. Pressing A lets you do a screwball, B is for a curveball, and A and B together is for a splitter. The champion for baseball is Sakura, who you face after getting 1100 skill level. For the training modes, there is hitting home runs, swing control, and batting practice. For hitting home runs, you have to get a home run. You have to get 10 to get the platinum. For swing control, you have to hit the ball at the correct time in order to hit it in the direction it's telling you to get points. You need 65 points for the platinum medal. Finally, for batting practice, you have to hit the baseball without missing or getting a foul ball. You have to hit all 30 for the platinum medal. For baseball, you can play with 2 people, but the camera's in the bat's perspective. And that's about it for baseball. The next sport on the list is bowling. This is my most favorite sport in the game, right near boxing. The controls are simple. All you need to do is hold the B button, then let go after you swing your arm. If you knock down every pin, you get a strike. If you don't knock them all down the first time, you can still get a spare by knocking down the remaining pins. If you get a difficult spare, you get a different animation. If you throw the ball backwards, the camera shows the Mii's in the back of you jumping up and doing a spin. When starting the game, you can change the color of your bowling ball by pressing a direction on the D-pad. Holding left gives you a red ball, holding right gives you a gold ball, holding up gives you a blue ball, and holding down gives you a green ball. When you get to pro rank, you get a star bowling ball. For the training mode, you get 3 options to choose from: picking up spares, power throws, and spin control. For picking up spares, you have to knock down pins that are left over to get a spare. You have to beat 20 lanes for the platinum medal. For power throws, there are 10 lanes, and each lane adds more and more pins until there are 91 pins. You get a point for each pin and double if you knock down all the pins. You need a score of 700 for the platinum medal. For spin control, you have to move the bowling ball to avoid obstacles to knock down the pins. These obstacles slowly get more difficult as the game goes on. You have to beat 20 lanes for the platinum medal. For bowling, you can play with 4 people using the same Wii Remote by taking turns. That's all for bowling. On to golf. For golf, there are 9 options to choose from: beginner, intermediate, and expert. All of these are 3-hole games. The last option is a 9-hole game that has you do all the holes from all the other 3 options. All of them are based on holes from Golf on NES, but in 3D. For golf, you can play with 4 people. To play, you have to swing the Wii Remote at the right speed to launch the ball where you want it to go. If you swing too hard, you'll do an overswing, which makes it go too far to the left or right, or just straight. You can turn to make sure your swing is in the correct direction. You also have to look where the wind is pointing so your ball goes to the right direction. For reaching pro in golf, you don't really get anything except for the pro title near your name, and also the bragging rights that come with it. For the training mode, the first option is putting, where you have to hit the ball at the correct speed and aim properly in order to get in the hole on the first try. You have to do this 10 times in a row without missing once. The second is hitting the green, where you have to hit the golf ball near the hole or in it in order to get the least amount of feet added to your score. For the platinum medal, you have to have a total distance of 65 feet or 20 meters over the course of 10 holes. Finally, there is target practice, where you have to hit the ball into the area that has the most points. The more further you go, the more the wind changes, and you have to change how hard you swing. To get the platinum medal, you have to get over 800 points over the course of 10 holes. And with that, it's time for boxing. Boxing is my favorite sport in Wii Sports. This is the only sport in the game that uses the nunchuck. It's easy to learn the controls. Holding the Wii Remote and nunchuck in front of your face to guard your face. Holding them right in front of your torso to guard your body. Punch with the Wii Remote and nunchuck to do a punch. Punch with them pointing forward to do a jab. If you hold both the Wii Remote and nunchuck and tilt your body, you can dodge. My favorite thing about dodging is if you do it at the right time, it will make time go slow, so you can counter your opponent's punch. When you land a punch, you will see how much health your opponent has. When it's at 0, they get knocked down, and then it counts to 10. If they don't get up in time, you win. If you last all 3 rounds, then there is a final decision that happens if no one gets knocked out. The person who did the best in 2 or more rounds will win. If it's equal, then you get a tie. The opponents you face at the start are easy to beat and usually lose in the first round. After getting to 500 skill level, then the opponents get more difficult, and even more difficult when you get to pro. For the training mode, you get trained by the champion of boxing, Matt, the hardest champion to be in the game. You face Matt after getting 1500 skill level. The first mode for training is working the bag, where you have to break bags off of chains as fast as you can. You have to do this 40 times for a platinum medal. The second one is dodging, and you have to dodge tennis balls thrown at you by Matt. Sometimes he throws 2 at once. If you get hit, then you lose a point. If you dodge, you get a point. You have to get 85 points for the platinum medal. Finally, there is throwing punches. You have to hit the mitts held by Matt to get a point. If you hit Matt, you lose a point. Where you have to hit changes from left to right. You have to hit the mitts 70 times in order to get the platinum medal. For all the other sports, I didn't get pro, but I did for boxing to face Matt. Then finally, I managed to get to over 1500 skill level, the skill level needed to face Matt. This was my first time getting to Matt, so I wasn't sure how hard it would be. The first thing I noticed was how fast he was, and how much he punched. After playing boxing for a while, I found out that dodging is great, and punching when your opponent attacks can damage them.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I won by knockout and beating Matt on the first try. I thought it was going to be harder. After you beat Matt, if you hold down 1, you could wear his white boxing gloves. Wii Fitness is the final option you can choose. It lets you play once a day and shows a graph of your performance over a month. It gives you a Wii Fitness age based off your balance, speed, and stamina. It gets this by having you play multiple modes from the training mode. The lowest age you can get is a 20. That's all for Wii Fitness. Wow, that took a while, but yeah, there's a lot of content in Wii Sports. With that said, like and subscribe. I think my next video will be about Wii channels. Goodbye and have a great day.